All right, welcome Aquarius to your February tarot forecast. Oh my God, we're already just starting in a crazy way. So first off, if you're watching this, thank you so much for being here. I know that these are getting posted super late in the month, and I apologize for that. This is like a brand new venture for me. Sorry, I didn't want to look at that card. This is a brand new venture for me, and I kind of just like did it without too much pre-planning. So I did see this card on the bottom, and I want to pull it out because I think it's important. Um, yeah, not any pre-planning, and so we're experiencing some growing pains, and just getting our sea legs on it. So if you're here, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. I hope that you stay for the whole message. And I hope that you find something that resonates with you, something that you need to hear. I do these for the month, but I do also believe that if you find these at a different time or even late in the month, that there is still a message that is there for you. I do believe things happen for a reason, and so take of it what you will. Okay, we're almost on the spread. So this top row of cards facing up are going to be your major themes for the month. So just just like the main things that you might be experiencing. Could be multiple themes, could all be one theme. We just kind of see as we go. The center cards are going to be, these ones right here, are going to be, these up facing ones are your solutions to any difficulties that you might be experiencing throughout the month. The ones facing down are unexpected obstacles or challenges, or just things that we don't see coming. Doesn't necessarily have to be like I feel like whatever yours is, they don't necessarily have to be a bad thing. I haven't had that message in anyone else's reading. You guys are literally the last one I've done, and I didn't have that in anyone else's reading. But for you specifically, I don't believe that they are necessarily like bad things, just things that maybe you're not expecting to happen. Now, sometimes I do get them and realize that like one of them is not supposed to be like a challenge or anything like that. It's actually like a really positive thing. And I do note that when I experience it, but I don't ever have this idea that I'm having for you guys. Ooh, manifest. We love that. Rounding out I'm just picking your oracle cards to finish out your spread. This bottom row at the bottom, I am in rare form today, guys. I haven't done a tarot reading, like spoken one out loud, in a couple days. I've been feeling super lethargic and just exhausted for like the past week. I think it's because the moon has been waning. It is new moon tonight, and the new lunar new year starts tomorrow, which is so exciting. And I feel it. I feel the energy. I feel so much more revitalized today and more connected and just like in such a better mood and just not like so lethargic and tired. My candle is, saying hello, thank you, you're welcome. I don't know if anyone else saw that, but after I said how much better I was feeling, that it flickered. It's just like telling me, yeah, it's the moon. I just know it. It's the moon. Moon cycle has been waning, losing energy, diminishing, and now it's new moon. Time for intentions, manifestation, just like really refilling. I'm starting to think maybe I lied. As soon as I said that, every time. Full moon temple. Would have been funny if I got the healing new moon. I forgot that's a card. I think that's a card. I'm going to have to check now. But I'm pretty sure one of the cards is titled Healing New Moon. And that's funny that I say that because I was just talking about how much better I feel because of the new moon. So there you go. Healing New Moon. Maybe you guys are going through something right now and you need to heal. Oh, interesting. I just had this one in my last read too. Huh. Some similar energy. I also really like specifically noticed this card on the bottom of the deck when I was putting your cards away. I don't normally do that, so I did pull it as well. It is, I'm not really sure the significance of this card yet, so I'm just going to kind of set it to the side, but we're going to figure it out as we go along. Okay, so let us just like get into it now that I spent 20 years shuffling and picking cards for you. So let's start with our main themes of the month. We have got the Four of Swords in reverse. We have the Wheel of Fortune, the Seven of Wands, and along with the Seven of Wands, I did also pull the Ace of Pentacles, and those two go together. It was supposed to be a unexpected obstacles card, but it went face up, and I immediately saw what it was, and so I don't. If a card lands face up and it's supposed to be one of these cards, I just won't look at that and I'll turn it over because I don't want to see it before I put it in the spread. I don't want to view it or know that it's coming while I'm talking about anything else. So if it does stay up, I know that that card does need to be in the spread, but it's just not one of these cards. So yours is going with the Seven of Wands. Okay, so let's just talk about Wheel of Fortune real quick. What did I literally just say about new moon healing? Like, this is cycles. This is what comes around goes around, karma. If you're going through a good time, just, be present in the good time. As I say that, this oracle card, I only know this because I literally just did a video and just had this exact same card. You can't go back to yesterday. Be in the present. Definitely. Same energy here. So and you guys have Four of Swords in reverse. So Four of Swords in the upright is like a time of meditation, a time to step away from, in the story of the swords, it's a time to step away from kind of like the challenges, battles, whatever strife that you're going through. And I believe kind of with what I'm already seeing, I haven't even looked at the rest of this yet, but with this, you also have the Death card in reverse, and the Ten of Cups in reverse, and the Star. Okay, and you have the Ten of Swords. Okay, we're putting the Ten of Swords up here. Wow, so major energy of revitalization is the word I'm getting here. Was that on here? Was some of these words? No, it's not. Celebration, peak, transcendent moment. Okay, well, transcendent moment, peak, celebration, that sounds like revitalization to me. That all sounds like synonyms. So that's your oracle card, full moon temple, but the word I'm getting is revitalization. So we're going to go with that. Wow, we're getting just like strong messages from the get-go for you, Aquarius. I am here for it. Okay, let's just calm down a little bit. So we have the Wheel of Fortune. Alongside this, like, be in the present, you can't go back to yesterday. So in addition to this, making sure that you are staying present in whatever moment you're in right now. Just remember the cycle of life is going to continue, okay? So one, and I'm also kind of getting that with this Four of Swords in reverse. So like I said, Four of Swords in the upright generally is kind of like a pause, a reflective moment, meditation, inaction, like logical inaction, not just like I'm not doing something because I'm lazy. It's I'm not doing something because I need to take a step back. I need to reevaluate my situation, and I need to really, figure out if what I'm doing is working, or do I maybe need to go a different route with it. So this is saying, like, don't get stuck in this moment of comfort, of pleasure. Ecstasy is coming, like, speaking very loudly to me. I think that this could also potentially, okay. This is for a very select few of you. This is not a broad message by any means, okay? This is like, I'm specifically getting that this is like for a very specific set of you. And it is saying for those of you who are living your life in a way that detaches you from your actual life, so that you are in this like state of like pleasure. So like drug use, like excessive drug use, maybe vices. Think of vices: drug use, sex, gambling, any just any type of vice that's going to put us in this like pleasure center so that we can ignore the rest of the world, you guys specifically need to really have like a moment of reflection. I think okay, now I understand fully. Okay, so you know how I had this 10 of swords, and I said that I specifically needed to have it in the spread, but I wasn't sure what the point of it was. And I was going to set it to the side, and then I set it right here, and now I understand all of it. This 10 of swords in the reverse is speaking specifically to this small group of people. That's why it's not in the whole spread. That's why it couldn't be in the deck, because it needs to be said, and why I also got put with this 4 of swords, because this is a very specific message for this group of people. So if this is resonating with you, please listen to this, and please be open-minded to it, okay? You guys are detaching from your regular life by these vices, and it is something that you really need to move on from, really need to start the next chapter on, because you guys are not getting where you want to go in life because of it. The 7 of Wands is on here as well, and 7 of Wands to me is kind of like, 5 is traditionally like the conflict cards, but 7 of Wands really does also kind of give me conflict. Like, this man he's like defending himself is really what it is. He's standing on top of a hill or a pile of rocks. He's above people, and they are looking up to him, and he's looking down on them, but there's so many more of them, and they're coming at him, and he's just like trying to fend them off and just like stand his ground and fend off his position. And while like that to me is a what is the word? English is hard. It is on the tip of my tongue. It starts with a D. Oh my gosh. As awful as this is, it's making me think of a person, because this person always was like this. Defensive. Got it. So I think this is for everybody. I think whatever maybe position that you're holding, that you're wanting to hold on to, you're a little defensive about letting it go. I think especially for these people with this vice, that they are detaching from the regular world. And the 10 of Swords is talking about the ending of a cycle, beginning of a new cycle. It's talking about putting things behind us, just accepting the defeat of the 10 of Swords, but knowing that we're moving into more positive things. It very much is a very similar energy to the Wheel of Fortune, kind of more in the negative side of things. Not that it is negative, but it is like negative. The negative is ending. We are accepting it for what it is. And now we have the opportunity to move into something positive, should we choose it to be. Now, something super important with this card that is like really like stating its importance to me is that is still a choice. Just because whatever this bad thing is ending doesn't automatically mean we go into something good. We still have to choose to make it good. So that's where this like self-reflection comes in, and just this accountability for your own actions. So if you are someone who is detaching from your life via some kind of vice, or just you're not living in the real world, and take that however it resonates for you. I do think for some of you there is like an actual vice issue here, but you're not living in your actual real world. You're detaching from it and living in some alternate fantasy world of pleasure, or none of the negative feelings that you're trying to escape. And it is something that's, it's time for it to end. Like the time has come to put it behind you. And a really strong message I got, this was the first card that I pulled, and then I put on here, and I laid it down, and I said, I've never seen that card before. Like, what is it? Like, I've seen all the cards in this tarot deck. I know the tarot deck. But because of how I was looking at it, and I picked it up and I looked at it upright, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I know exactly what this is. But because I was looking at it a little bit from a distance, and because it's upside down, And it's not one that I'm in with this particular deck am super familiar with the imagery. I just didn't understand it at first. And so this message I got about that was like mistaken identity, things, look at things from a different perspective. It may not be as it seems. So, and now I understand. It has been gifted to me. Okay, I get it. Living, oh wow, I feel such a strong connection to this message, which is really interesting because I don't really have any Aquarius in my birth chart, I don't believe, but I feel like really, I feel very connected to your guys' message as well for whatever reason. But this is saying that you are detaching by whatever means you are detaching, whether it's like a vice, or maybe you're just compartmentalizing, or maybe you just keep yourself like super, super busy. You could also view this Seven of Wands as just like really, really busy, because he is defending himself. He is fighting. He is by himself, like, and he has the upper ground. He has the advantage. So like he can't slack, because the minute he slacks, the minute he just lets go and like takes a moment of rest, he's going to lose that advantage. He's going to lose the upper hand. He's probably going to get captured, or, you know, whatever they're going to do to him in this whole story, this whole, like, you know, the tarot story. So he can't do that. So he's saying busy, busy, busy. And I think a lot of you are saying busy, 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 because you don't want to sit and reflect with whatever it is that you like actually need to take some time to reflect on. And if you do that, if you sit down and not only reflect on the things that you need to reflect on that are causing this issue, but how you're reacting to it even more so, I would say, because like we can't always control the issue. Actually, most of the time, unless the issue is coming from us, we can't control the issue ever. Only when it's derived from us that we can control the creation of the issue. As I say that, Ace of Pentacles, creation, okay? Just saying. Also, manifest, creation. Just saying. Whatever it is that we are creating in our minds or in our actions in order to escape from our actual reality, we have influence over our choices, over how we view things, over how we handle things. And maybe we're doing something where we think that we are doing something beneficial because it is the lesser of two evils, so to speak. And if we sat down and really examined it, it's like, it's not the lesser of two evils. It's actually just as bad. Like, these are both not good. And I'm getting that even more so, some little like extra emphasis behind that, because you've got the Ten of Cups in reverse, and that is a lack of emotional fulfillment, especially in a community sense or involving others. So whatever this is, whatever this situation is where you need to let something go, whether it is a vice or maybe it's just a form of coping mechanism. That's the word I'm looking for. Okay, the whole thing up here is talking about coping mechanism. So this one is specifically for the people who are doing like some coping mechanisms that really are going to be harmful for you, and you really, really, really need to assess those. And if you really want to continue with those and realize the repercussions that that is going to at some point inevitably have, either on your health, on your relationships, on your career, on your livelihood. There's just so many ways that that can go. So yeah, you guys, you really need to have kind of like a heart-to-heart with yourself. The Star in reverse also just, the Star is like hopeful. The Star comes after the Tower, and it's like the gleaming of hope for, wow, I just, so in my mind, as I'm like trying to think of how to explain this, all I'm getting in my head is starlight, starlight, starlight. And that caused me such a pause, because I named my dog Starlight. And just a really quick story, because I think it's relevant. is that is it Scorpio on here? Yeah. There's also the symbol of Scorpio on here, which is interesting because this is not the Scorpio card. The star, it could also maybe be Libra. It looks like Scorpio though. There's some text over it, so it's a little bit hard to see, but it definitely looks like Scorpio. So that's really interesting, because that's not Scorpio's card. And I know that because I am Scorpio. But this story, just real quick, is I have a corgi. Her name is Starlight. I got her during probably the worst year of my life. I've had her for about a year and a half. And year and a half? Yeah, year and a half. And I wanted a corgi for a really, really long time. So I got her. It was very impulsive, super, super depressed. And I got her. And because I've wanted a corgi for so long, I have been thinking of names already. See, she knows I'm talking about her. She's just making noises. I had already been thinking of names. And so I go to get her, and for some reason, every name I'd ever thought of, because I had one in particular I really wanted to name her. It's a character from The Dark Crystal, which is a movie that I absolutely love. I grew up watching it, and it's just like one of my favorite movies of all time. It's a Jim Henson movie. If you haven't seen it, it's from the 80s. Highly recommend it. It's probably on Amazon or something. The Dark Crystal. Jim Henson. You'll love it. Anyways, I was going to name her from a character from that movie, but for some reason, when I got her, immediately I'm like, her name has to be Starlight. And it needs to be Starlight because when people were lost at sea or couldn't find their way, back in the times, obviously, before like cell phones and GPS and like all this fancy technology that we have now, they used to use stars and the maps and constellations. And like, that's how they would find like the North Star. That's how they would find their way when they were lost. And so when I got her, that's kind of what she was for me. Just something to help me find my way while I was lost. And to me, Starlight was the most indicative name and word to signify that. So I don't think it's any coincidence that you have the star. You also, the Ace of Pentacles, there is a star in Pentacles. So there's a singular one. They are on top of each other. So the star signifies hope. And I think that the reason that you have it in the reverse, I don't think that your guys' center row is what it usually means in these reads. Because like I said earlier, I don't believe that these cards under here, let's just go ahead and pull them out, are necessarily unexpected obstacles. I think that they're just more things for you guys to consider. Wow. Okay, I pulled this last time too. Interesting. Okay, so I have strengths. I pulled both of these cards in my last reading. And, excuse me, caffeine fix. As I said to Capricorn, strength and justice are the two cards in the tarot deck that mean a lot to me. And whenever I get them, it just feels like there's a little bit of extra oomph from my spirit guides and just a reaffirmation of the direction I'm going with the message. So I really love that. You guys have the Eight of Swords, also one of my favorite cards. Ten of Cups, I already said. You have the Queen of Wands in reverse, the Star, Strength. Okay, beautiful. So let's go back to this concept of the Star and Ten of Cups real fast. Ten of Cups is emotional fulfillment. Usually for me, I read this as the context of outer emotional fulfillment, how it's affecting others, or how your internal feelings, emotions, thoughts are manifesting themselves in the outer world. So because it is in the reverse, once again, I think you guys have a coping mechanism that is not necessarily healthy or not really suiting you. It's not doing any good. I know for a period of time you did need to do it. I think that's also why we have the Queen of Wands in reverse. I think for a period of time, you guys did need to use this coping mechanism in order to, like, deal with whatever it is that you're dealing with. Like sometimes in life, situations are so hard and traumatizing that all we can do is rely on coping mechanisms for a period of time. But as the Wheel of Fortune tells us, you can't go back to yesterday. You cannot use these coping mechanisms indefinitely. They have to end at some point. You can't just keep doing them. I mean, you can, obviously, things are never like declaratory in that type of way, but you can continue doing them, but you're not going to get anywhere in life. You're probably going to just go back. It's going to be not a good time. Or if you're not going back, you're really stopping yourself from going forward. Like you're putting an absolute roadblock in the middle of the road. You shall not pass. And to give more emphasis to that, we have the Eight of Swords. So like I said, I think these are just like extra considerations for you guys. I think that the energy in this spread is really just trying to help you. I think this is all very positive, like we want what's best for you type of energy. And there's a lot of this, like I said, that resonates really heavily with me. And so I'm also going to take that for what that is for me. I have not done a reading that had this type of message before, so this is very interesting to me also. But once you're able to, let me not even finish that thought. Let me get back to the cards. I need to not be on these tangents. Eight of Swords is saying we have a choice. We are not bound by our circumstances, by our surroundings. We are the creators of our circumstances. I used this analogy in my last video. I've been saying it to a lot of people. I believe we are the epicenters of our lives. I believe we are the creators of everything that we experience in our life. That is not to say that we have direct influence on everything, okay? The analogy I used was throwing a pebble into a pond of water, still pond water, right? You throw the pebble, the ripples up, radiate out from where the pebble fell, which is the epicenter, or you, of your life being the water here, okay? Now, there are things we cannot control. If there's a big old rock in this pond, and we have these waves rippling out, they're going to hit the rock, okay? But they're going to bounce off the rock. They're going to create their own waves. Now the waves are interacting with each other, and it's a whole, like, ecosystem of waves, okay? Vibes, energy, call it whatever you want. And we can't control that the rock is there. The rock is just there. But you know what? This, like, really awesome moment I had, for me, it was the revelation, which that was a key word. Or maybe the keyword was in this spread. I don't even remember. Yeah, revelation was this one. I think it was in the last one too. I don't know. Anyways, the key thought message I was given about that was, even though we can't control that the rock is there, the waves that are hitting that rock, we are still creating those waves. So we still have control over that. That's a really, like, positive, uplifting message in my opinion. And that's exactly what Eight of Swords says too, is she is surrounded by all these swords, and she may look like on the outside that she just is trapped and she has nowhere to go. She's bound. She has the blindfold on, but there's a sword behind her that she can reach, and if she just chooses to, she can cut herself from the bindings and free herself. So it is just really a card about self-reflection and realizing that you have the power to change your circumstances, and you just have to make the decision, which is also exactly what the Ten of Swords is saying. You just have to make the decision to do it. So the difference between the 10 and the 8, you're probably like, well, if they're saying the same thing, why are they two different cards? They're not saying the exact same thing, okay? This is one that is saying you don't have to be a slave to your circumstances. You don't have to be bound by your circumstances. You are in control of changing the circumstances. Now, before anyone gets all, like, panties in a twist over what I'm saying, like, I don't have control over how XYZ happens at work, and I don't have control over what my spouse does, and blah, blah, blah. No, you're right. You don't have control over that. What you do have control over is how you react, okay? How you view things. Maybe we see things from a different perspective, and now we see it in a whole new light. But in this case, what we're talking about is whatever kind of coping mechanism that you have that you need to probably not have, okay? So this is saying, do some internal reflection. You do have the power to change it. I promise you that you do. No matter how hard it may seem, it can be done. And we know that because we have strength. Strength specifically speaks to inner strength. The Chariot is more of the outer strength. So this is saying like, and we have the Star in reverse. To me, this is also just saying you don't believe in yourself. Like, you have this energy. You have this energy of being able to move into positive aspects of your life, of being able to let go whatever it is that is troubling you, that you feel like you constantly have to keep up. Because if you just for one moment let your guard down, all these feelings, all this thing that you're trying to stay away from is gonna like hit you in the face. So you're like, nope, not doing that. If you just surrender to it, if you just accept defeat, accept it is what it is, and you're gonna change how you go about doing it from here on out, you have the ability to change that and bring that happiness into your life, to manifest a better, more fulfilling life. Like, you can do it. The one card here I didn't touch on too much was this Queen of Wands. She just is like feeling stuck. Like, I don't even have like a super specific message from her specifically. I just said specific twice in the same sentence, but she's just like, it's just stuck. Like, it's in reverse. You're not acting. Queens are like self-authoritative. So it's just, once again, like internally, you're not acting in the best interest of yourself. And wands usually are like thoughts, inspiration, ideas, things that we are like enthusiastic about. And I think the way I read the Queen of Wands in general is like, she's just a bad bitch. Like, she can do whatever she puts her mind to. So in the reverse, it's just like you're blocked. You're not doing what you could be doing. You have this vice, this coping mechanism, and it is, whether you realize it or not, it is negatively impacting your life. And it's something, if not your life, someone else's life. Doesn't have to be yours. It could be someone else, or it could be someone else, which then therefore impacts your life by proxy. Or the reverse, like it impacts your life, and because it impacts your life, it impacts their life. Let me let my dog out because she's kind of freaking out a little bit. My super cool way of entering and exit my little space. I'm not editing it out either. All right, so yeah, inner strength. You don't believe in yourself. Hurting your relationships. This is kind of a heavy message for you guys. There's like I feel a lot of optimism here. There's a ton of optimism here in this read, but the underlying like core issue is a little heavy. So, sorry, you need to hear it, Aquarius. New moon in Aquarius today. Here you go. It's probably no coincidence that it took me like 4 or 5 days to finish these last 2 videos. Like, I've done all the rest of them, and these are the last 2 I had. All right, let's finish this out. We have Death in Reverse. Death in Reverse is talking about new beginnings, killing off our old selves, having a rebirth of a new self. In the reverse, it can mean it's a very internal type of thing, but I think this is just meaning like you just have some resistance. Like, this is in reverse. The 10 is in reverse. This is an upright. Our 4 is in the reverse. Our Queen of Wands in the reverse. Our Ten of Cups is in the reverse. Our Star is in the reverse. Like, there's just a lot of blockage. Like, you just don't, you're just holding on to it. Like, let it go. Let it go. It's okay. You don't have to hold on to it anymore. Like, you can let it go. That's actually a message that I got almost a year ago. I saw a psychic at a work retreat for one of my jobs, and that line specifically, it's okay to set it down and let it go, was given to me. I didn't think about it that's why this whole, oh wow, I got chills. I'm getting ahead of myself. I got that message almost a year ago, and this past week I reflected on it one morning as I was meditating, and I just had this like huge breakthrough of this really, really big internal trauma that I have been experiencing. And this particular internal trauma is one that I do have a really unhealthy coping mechanism for. And it was a coping mechanism that was being hurtful to not only myself, but someone else. And it was something that I felt like I had no other choice, because I felt like I only had two options, and it was the lesser evil of the two, which is not true, because I'm now finding what that third option is, because I made a decision that I was going to do that. And that third option was healing. Like, as simple as that is to say, and as difficult as it is to do, my third option was healing. So, Three of Cups, unity, coming together, upright. Two of Cups in the reverse. Two of Cups is not being balanced. So I don't, your spread has a pretty unified message here. I don't even feel the need to really go into in depth with these bottom cards, because I feel like everything is already saying what it needs to say. I'm just looking at this because there's an eye in the middle of this image, and it's a face. Oh, that's cool. Okay, another instance of change your perspective, mistaken identity. Everything is not always as it appears. Because I saw there's like you're not gonna be able to see, but there's an eye in the middle of these cards. These are a Salvador Dali deck. There's an eye in the middle. That's not in the like normal depiction of the Two of Cups. And then I realized there's like this outline, and it makes a face, and that's like the eye in the face. It's like a really weird looking face, but it does make a face, and I've never noticed that before, and I wouldn't have noticed it had I not noticed the eye. So just like, once again, pay attention to your surroundings, pay attention to your internal talk, pay attention to your actions, what you're doing, what you're trying to avoid. I think that's what this really is saying. Like, this eye is like looking at whatever it is that you're trying to avoid, that you're hiding. There's a face here and you don't really see it, but if you like really look at it, you're gonna see that that is hiding in plain sight. You're just not, you're just choosing not to see it because you're focusing on the other stuff. You're focusing on the pleasure, whatever space in life you're retreating to, because you don't want to deal with whatever it is that is causing you such emotional pain, and also just like so much time and energy in order to manage it. Like, just imagine being like, you know what, I'm freaking done with this. This no longer suits me. This is not the lesser of two evils. These are both like bad decisions, and I want to move on to something that is going to be more prosperous, something that's going to set me up for the future, a new beginning. I want to do that. So all I'm going to do is decide that I am done with that old coping mechanism. I'm going to do some shadow work and some healing. I'm going to save myself a ton of energy. And I'm just going to live a happy, more fulfilling life. Okay? Beautiful message, Aquarius. Thanks for being here. I'm sorry it took me so long to make these videos. I will get into the better swing of things. I look forward to hopefully seeing you in March for your monthly review. I hope that you have a great new moon tonight in Aquarius. You're going to be seeing this after the new moon, so I hope I'm just sending the vibes through the camera. And I hope they reach you right now or tonight. since you'll be seeing this later. But that, and happy Lunar New Year. It is the year of the dragon, and I'm just like excited for a new energy to come. I just feel it. I feel the revitalization today. I'm just excited about it. So thank you for being here. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing you next time.